machine. Now, for me, this is one of my. I found this beer in LA. It's a chocolate coffee imperial stout. Y'all know I'm kind of about my stouts and my coffee and my chocolate. Anyway, I had to drive to Long Beach, California to get this shit, and I've been trying to get it for probably a year or two. I got it back. That's what I'm on today. A little bit different, little iced Beach smoke machine. Shout out to Beachwood. I went all the way there to get it, but doing
Okay.
a little dark today. That's it. Um,
All right.
so
All right. All right. I'm liking. I'm liking.
now, Mimi, I'm gonna have to put you. I'm gonna your stuff. I don't know why it ain't coming with volume.
It's not coming with the volume.
Yeah, it ain't giving me that option. See, y'all, this is why we need Uncle George here, cause
That's
yeah,
okay. We can always run the number two. If we have any problems with two and the volume, then we'll just go all the way to whatever we're gonna talk about. Because I got stuff. I got other stuff. Ain't gotta be no
you got
videos. Ain't
you
gotta.
got stuff for days. I
We
will
can skip
give me
all
the
the
stuff.
videos.
Give me the stuff you got without the videos, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so then let's do that. So a mother, a mother car gets repossessed with her 7-day-old baby in it. And see, this is the thing. And I could understand how this happened because this is not one of those things where it's like I went to the store shopping and I left my baby in the car. It's one of
Right.
those things where I was taking one of my kids into the daycare, came back, repo man was gone with the car and my baby in it. So, according to the sergeant of Evansville Police Department, the child's mother initially expressed concerns that her child may have been abducted. However, earlier in the day on Thursday, two repossession agents had contacted Central Dispatch to notify law enforcement that they would be taking possession of the mother's vehicle if the chance presented itself. And it's really crazy because I don't know if that's a custom that they normally do that, like notify the police department, whether instead of just going grabbing the car. I've never heard of that.
No,
But
no. Real talk. When they actually
yeah.
repo, they roll down on you just wherever. Now here's what got me. I've seen them do it in a car wash when
Hmm.
somebody was like repo. They didn't got gangster about it because people get the wilding out trying to hurt you and shit like that. So they got to get creative when they come repo, and they can do it anywhere, anytime. They have that autonomy.
Right, right.
So
Okay. So the mother was dropping off her older son off at daycare when she left the 7-day-old baby in the car while it was running. Upon entering the vehicle and driving off, one of the men seemed oblivious to the fact that a young child was securely fastened in a safety seat just a few feet behind him. Dispatchers promptly contacted the repossession agents again, alerting them to the situation and the child's presence inside the car that had been repossessed. As far as the infant being inside, they had no idea about that. Winston said once the dispatcher called them back, they pulled over right away and of course made it happen. So
yeah, that's that's cool, but you gotta be looking. But they got to do that shit on the move. They got to do it on the move. So I don't know. I think that's kind of funny. But
yeah,
the
yeah, that
fact
was
that shouldn't be allowed to happen. I don't know, but I guess not paying your car note for 3 months is kind of shouldn't be allowed to happen either. So there's that.
exactly,
My
exactly.
thing,
That
before they took off, they should have looked in the back seat to see if anything was bad.
mama, who does that? Oh, we're about to take your car. We're looking in the back to see what.
Right, right,
To
right.
make
But I
sure
mean,
that
but
if there's a
unfortunately,
car seat or something, I mean, you took a person's baby.
yeah. But
That's
Yeah. Well,
that's
if
not.
the baby was quiet and the baby was asleep, the only thing that they're thinking about is snatching that vehicle and going as fast as they can.
that's really what it is, and they're not thinking about that. So you do have a point. I mean, very true. So
But
Yeah.
to the mother saying, even if she was just taking her kid inside, you never leave an infant in a
yeah,
car,
that
in
and
a
that's true.
running car. Anybody, it could have been a crackhead that jumped in the car and drove off.
Happens
You
all the time. People
never
get
do
carjacked.
that.
So
Yes.
that's that, and I think there should be some type of fine for that. Because how
There
often have
should
you heard, "I only went inside for a second. I only turned my head for a second, and now there's a child gone or dead or worse, carjacked, that kind of stuff." So I'm
Mhm.
with you on that one. I don't think there should ever be any reason. You just if you're that lazy or tired or whatever, then either
Hmm.
don't go. I don't know. Don't fucking have kids. But I just definitely think that this is how stuff like that happens. You're tired.
Right.
I got one for you, Mimi. I got you. I got this. You gotta tell me what's going on with this joint.
Okay, go.
Mhm.
Okay, so the same guy that was on the news. So evidently, what happened was that he
Uh,
was on the news earlier with the news team. He witnessed a robbery or something that had went on, and then a
What?
little later on,
That's
that's
nice.
him on the bus. He done hijacked the bus.
Oh wow, that's insane.
look how many.
Wow,
It was about 30. Somebody counted 33 police cars.
that's like some Smokey and the Bandit type shit there. Wow.
Okay. It took that many.
33, yes, 33 police cars running after this dude. And I still don't have the story or the connection because, that's going to come out in the next day or two. Like,
Did he have
what the hell
hostages?
really happened? See, I don't know. I just thought that the whole thing was crazy. The whole thing was funny.
Yo,
I was like,
for real, that's a
Awesome.
whole lot. Like that's
yeah,
a
no, I saw one video and then I saw the other one and I was like, well, this is the dude that you're talking about. So
okay.
now people were asking questions like, was he the robber in that situation? And then came to the camera like, hey, I'm the witness. I was just in there. Let me tell you guys what happened. Now all of a sudden you go jump
Right.
in the bus
So,
and hijack the bus.
That's crazy.
right. Yeah, we just trying to figure out like what happened. Cause
Right. Who? Why? Right. Why?
all right,
Really?
because my man was on some shit. This is
No, no,
okay.
no.
This,
Look, and
this
if you
gonna make
had
an ass out of us. All right. So what we got here? This is you're killing me here.
okay, no. This one is awesome. I absolutely love it. So he just wanted to prove to his wife that he can jump over a fence. Let's go.
It started off as a joke. My wife don't believe that I can't jump.
I
this
do.
little
That's
fence.
why I'm recording it. I want the world to believe you too. So when you say it,
Ooh, my knee.
See,
it went exactly how I thought it was gonna go.
let me tell you why he deserved everything that happened to him.
He dropped so hard.
Because first of all, he had to be high because the slow motion in which that fool ran. Enough said. He ran like he wouldn't have made it trying to jump his big ass in the bed, let alone
He
over a
had
fence.
there was no speed whatsoever.
Listen, I'm sorry, I'm old school. I got a thing about the whole flip flop open back shoe thing, especially on men. So right there, you don't have my respect. I don't give a shit about your comfort and all that. You trying to slip and slop in some flip flops. You
Yes.
deserve your dumb ass going over that fence like that. But
So my thing is, how do you not hold at least hold the fence to hold yourself up to get over it? He just brat.
now, my man said he could clear it. She was gonna make him prove it. So hey, it is what it is.
That's what it
But
was.
yeah,
That's what
homie,
it
homie
was.
didn't have a chance. Homie didn't have a
Yes.
chance.
Nah, he
All
did
right,
not.
now this maybe you got to tell me what's going on here. Like I said, now this
Oh
is like some
Lord.
old school. We got some old school here.
Yes. Okay. So see, this is the thing because we always have people talking about, what I'm saying, we should not hit the kids. It's child abuse, la la la, all that shit. I really think that parents need to get back to whooping ass. I'm not talking about child abuse is child abuse. We know what child abuse is.
Sure.
I'm talking
100%.
about a good old ass whooping where you're not gonna do what the hell I told you that you're not gonna do. So run it.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Oh, you ain't? Okay.
Right.
We gonna see.
Okay.
Oh, he was stealing. Her. He got that nigga on a merry-go-round.
What's wrong with you?
I just want to see it.
Aww.
Hey, listen, fuck that. But I'm gonna be real with you. Something like that, especially from your father, that can
Yes.
save those kids prison time or an early burial. Now I
Yes.
know it's a lot of people out there that don't like it, don't agree, don't approve, and they probably need their ass kicked. But I've heard people go, "Oh, my mom or dad hit me once when I was a kid and I didn't like it. That's why you're a fuck up now." because I don't think I got hit a bunch of times and didn't like it any of them. And actually, I probably should have got more than I did because my mom thought it was funny. But all that to
Yeah.
say, and here's the thing: I didn't read the comments, but if anybody tries to come for that brother, whatever, I got money on his books and all that, and hand me the belt because those children
Yes.
are going to know it ain't the system; it's the fear of my dad's wrath and the repercussions and things like that. I'm with y'all. Listen, we need to get back to ass whooping. You know, maybe not necessarily public shaming and all that, but real live
Right.
ass whooping, I'm here for it.
Oh
Here.
yeah, for sure. And I don't know if you really noticed the video, but it's two of them. It's two brothers, two little ones. They look like they're twins even because they look like they're the same height and all. You know?
And remember back in the day, whatever your sibling did, all y'all ass got beat for. So it's a good chance one of them might have been the point man. He might have been lookout, but they was like, you know what? You involved, so your ass get tapped too.
Getting it too. Exactly. Why didn't you stop it?
Yeah, listen, I know we kind of we talk and make a little bit light of that kind of stuff, but for real, I'm with y'all. I think more of that should go on. People, listen.
Yeah.
Look at our generation and just look at that bullshit now. Like I said, my kids are adults, and they're I say the girls because the girls live with me. My son, no issue, but my kids still worry that I might fuck them up, and they're rightfully so. You can give me that. You can give me that whole I'm an adult and all that. I bet you not. Listen.
Yes, JJ. Corporal punishment is legal in Nevada. See.
100%. It's legal wherever my name is on the mailbox. It's shit legal. I'm trying to tell you, like right now, you can't get out of pocket. But I think I say it all the time. I do think fear is healthy, but clearly, it's not an abuse situation. You don't just walk in and beat the shit out of your kids and all that. But you heard that brother saying, every SWAT, don't steal, don't steal.
Exactly. Shit, our shit came in freaking. You better not ever, and it's a whip every whip
every word you emphasize.
You wanted that sentence to be over so bad, but then she repeated it.
And unfortunately, that's the thing about mothers because they're gonna put in all the damn words. I told you, didn't I ask questions and shit? Didn't I tell you? Oh damn, mama, shut the fuck up.
Hey, mommy, we talking about you. I know she's listening.
Okay.
She's definitely on YouTube over there watching the show. So yeah.
Yeah, mommy, talking about you. I's talking about you. Okay, what we got here? This doesn't look. I don't think I'm gonna like this one.
No, you're not gonna like this one here at all. I don't know what this guy did. I do not have the backstory on it. All I know is that the officers approached him at a restaurant while he was eating at the counter. I don't know what took place before that, but he is no longer.
What?
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of because unfortunately, it's way too happens too often. It's too prevalent. Just no reason. So it says stop killing black people in your music, so Black lives regain value in real time. Interesting thought process.
Bro, what's going on? All right. Bro. Stop! We gotta go! Go!
Now, I don't know if y'all know, Roger is not an advocate. I do not show that shit. I don't show black men. I don't want anybody seeing somebody get shot. We know what happens after that.
Yes.
The point is, from a PTSD standpoint, from a disturbed standpoint, there's a lot of ways to handle things. Now, I'm actually kind of glad you played that. So watch, and I'm sure you've got some other stuff real quick, Mimi. But this is interesting that you had that video because look what I found today. And look at the result. This is what's crazy. This is what's crazy because proof positive that things can be handled a different way. Now, I'm not gonna say a similar situation, but a similar situation. This guy went to a soccer game. They do like you know who does it. They like to get on the field and streak and do goofy shit and run and get attention and blah 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 blah. Now, watch how the individual officer or whoever handled it. And this is the same thing I say over and over and over again, because that excessive force is not. The guy was on the ground. That guy was on the ground. And then they're going to scream, "Don't resist, don't da da da," so they can be heard and all of that. But that's bullshit. He's on the field at a baseball game, does a backflip, takes off. Now watch what happens. Now, he tased funny as hell, but let him do his flip and then tase him. But back to the situation. Why?
Your volume is in and out.
Most of the officers are
There we
right-handed.
go.
So if they're right-handed, they know their taser is on the left. They know which way they're fucking reaching. They know. So that whole fear and all that, I don't know, it's infuriating. But I thought that was funny. But then I see your video and I go, see, now it just proves.
And that is really interesting because if you're right-handed and your taser is on the left, then what do? You pull your taser out and put it in your right hand real quick and use it?
No, you're supposed to be trained to use either side.
Oh.
Which means because if you're right-handed, this is how you shoot. This is how you shoot. It is the repetitive motion thing, but you also know that in that moment you're deliberately reaching to your other because that's where your taser is. Or if you can't use both sides, the taser is sitting below on the leg holster. So it's somewhere where they always go, "Oh, I couldn't tell." I know they look different when you pull them out. They feel differently. Like it's a whole lot of different shit. So anyway, anyway, what else you got for us?
Okay, so married people need to stay married. If y'all want to play games, then there's repercussions. So a married football coach fatally shot by his side chick's boyfriend.
Wow.
I know, that shit is wild. So, India Smith was in Georgia, okay, when she got the news that someone shot and killed her husband, Keon Bernard Smith, a beloved football coach at Miami Norland Senior High School. He was a good man. He was a good man from what she's saying. Okay, whatever. Can't be that good if he was cheating on you. But anyway, he doesn't have the opportunity to coach his final son who wanted to play football. So according to Opelika police, the shooting was reported around 12:50 a.m. on Monday at Mary Alice Brown apartment complex in the 2800 block of Northwest 132nd Street. I don't know, it's really crazy, but I actually know the area. So I lived in Miami, so I'm just like, damn. Yeah. So the police said that they arrived at the scene and found a man who had been shot. He was later identified as Smith.
Okay.
He was supposed to drive up to Georgia this week, India said, but he had to make the difficult drive down to South Florida instead. Police were investigating, but they have no suspect. The family said that Keon was romantically involved with someone else, and it's a possibility that he lost his life after a jealous situation turned violent. His wife said, "Everyone makes mistakes," and I'm going to leave it right there because it's long-winded, yada, yada, yada. And yeah.
So did they? Who all knew about it? So in other words, did the guy that got shot, did the coach, did he know she had a dude, or did she kind of say, "Hey, I'm almost single," or I'm not married, that kind of shit?
We don't know that part of the story because we have to get with the chick.
Right.
We have to get with the chick to find out what happened.
Three sides to every story. Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing is, I get it. Everybody has felt like whether you've been in that situation or not. But here's my question. Is she out there shopping again? Because guess what? The dude she's with dead. The other dude is gonna be in jail. She's on the market all over again. How much fucking sense does that make? For real, for real.
And you know what? It had to seem. Look, it's a couple of things. If he was a coach for a school, that means he worked for the government, so she gets a nice check for whatever. Okay, there's some insurance involved. There's got to be some kind of insurance involved.
Coaches don't make money. I promise you. We do it because we love it. Unless you have your own team. If you love coaching, it's one thing. But if you're coaching for a school, unless you're a real big time coach like football or basketball, ain't no money. And it's really considered a part-time job because if you're not teaching as well, that's just an extra couple of thousand to coach a particular sport. So no, he wasn't making money. So it ain't gonna be nothing sweet. All of
Wow.
that shit probably because, somebody lied or somebody's. I ain't saying who, but I'm
Right.
just saying. So this is an interesting thing. I know you guys' thoughts on that, and that's perfectly fine. Most people share that. My thing is this. At this point in my life, I'm not about to make a life decision. I know it takes a lot of control, but if
Mhm.
you discover something, I mean, your best bet, if nobody's being hurt, I mean, right at them, just remove yourself, because whether you kill that person or whether you do something different or whatever, if it's going to affect your freedom, that's two lives gone instead of one. I ain't saying that shit is easy, because no
Right.
walk in on your woman getting prison pal, or a dude or a woman walk in on her man having a threesome or whatever, but is doing something like that worth your freedom and the rest of your life? So you can sit there and tell everybody, general population, that you did that, like some old, Shawshank type shit.
Mhm.
I mean, for real, if that was me, I know people don't believe me, and I've been married a long time. If that was me and I walked in, I'm like, all right, cool, grab a couple of my things, and I'm out of here. Ain't got to worry.
Deuces. Yeah.
Ain't no choice to make. If that's how you feel, people walk into your house or whatever, I don't know. But
Right.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, my last quarter of my life is all for me. This last third is all about me. I ain't giving it up to nobody, be it that jail or anywhere else.
Okay, moving right along. So this one is really, really interesting. So a California teacher
Uh-oh.
is not going to face any charges being drunk in her second grade class because it is not illegal to teach while you're drunk.
What?
In fucking Cali, of course.
Okay, so this is in California. Of course, you hit it on the nail.
Mm, mm, mm.
So on October the 2nd, 2023, Wendy Munson, a second grade teacher at Nuestro Elementary School in Live Oak, California, was taken into custody on charges of a DUI and child endangerment. The Sutter County Sheriff Office deputies were told about the teacher who was allegedly under the influence while driving to school. And upon arrival, they observed her showing signs of being drunk while teaching the class. Munson was informed on Monday by the Sutter County District Attorney Jennifer Dupree's office that she would not be prosecuted for the incident. After a lengthy and thorough investigation, the Sutter County District Attorney's Office determined that charges will not be filed against her. Second degree teacher at Nuestro School, who was arrested on October the 2nd, the DA's office wrote in a Facebook post. During the investigation, it could not be established that Munson was under the influence when she drove to school, as opposed to drinking only after arriving there.
Are you kidding me?
So they
Are
didn't
you?
have any proof that she was driving drunk. But once she got into school, she could have started drinking, and then boom, bam.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one of the teachers is doing her, because to get away with that, you gotta be polishing somebody off. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. I've been a teacher and a coach. I understand these little bastards make you want to drink. I'm here for you, baby. But damn, wait till happy hour. Come on, you killing me.
Yes, yes.
Now,
Very, very, very true.
Mimi, let me interject real
Yes,
quick. Since we talking
go.
about bad schools, um,
Yes.
word on the street is there's a new grading scale. Now, when we was coming, have you seen that? There's
No.
supposedly a new grading scale. So when we were coming up, correct me if I'm wrong, 90 to 100 was an A, 80 to 89.9 was a B,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. 70 to
Right.
79 C, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how pathetically stupid and weak that this country has become. I'm gonna let my man talk to y'all. And if this shit is true, I'm done.
Oh my gosh.
Public school grading system got me so mad. So an A is 84% to 100%. B is 64% to 84%. C is 44 to 64%. D is 24. F is 0. So you can get a 0 and be an F. What? The fact that an A is 84% now. Do you understand the ass whoopings I could have saved with that grading system? As
Hell
an
yeah.
Asian, we would have all thrived because we were trying so hard just to get 95%. Because you know, an A- in our household is getting an ass whooping. 84% is an A. I'd be valedictorian. I would be killing it in school right now. It's funny because remember our sayings, C equals degrees. The fact that a C is 44% and that gets you by today, man, fuck these kids.
That's all I wanted to real talk though. Real talk.
He was talking and I was writing. I was lost. I was lost. A B, 64 to 84.
That's
you trying to figure it out.
This cannot be real. This cannot be a real post.
That was almost an F back in the day. Yes, it can. You know why I believe it's real? And whether he's joking or not, I believe it's highly possible in this country we're in right now. I really do. Yeah. Because instead of making them work harder, they make life easier. And these punk ass kids crying, and their parents are crying, the parents are dumb. I believe it. Like I 100% believe it.
Yes.
I just do. It just kills me. So yeah, I saw that.
Subpar takes you far these days.
Yes.
Yeah, it was killing me. I was like, yeah, this shit, I can't. But
no,
you
left me freaking bad. That's one for me to keep looking at. I wrote it down because I was like, I gotta write this shit down because I know I'm gonna keep looking at it.
That's really.
And B is a 24 to a 0.
That's really insane. Wow.
Fucking believe.
So what's an F? A F you ain't even came to school.
F is 0% to 24%. That mean, dude, that was you were getting flunked if you had like less in my school, less than a motherfucker 60, and yet they was like, keep your desk, Mr. Hawkins, because you're gonna be sitting there next year, nigga, because you're not passing. You can't do that anymore. Like you can't even flunk. You have to get permission to fail children. Parents can't even suggest their kid gets retained. How messed up. But you know what? I've discovered a lot in the past few years, and like hell, if it was up to me, I probably wouldn't send my kids to school again either. I just because of how bad it is. It's terrible.
These kids are as dumb as a box of rocks right now.
So their parents, though. What you got, baby? What you got? So their parents.
Okay, so I have one more, and this one I'm actually going to go in all my island dialect because this one here took me for my brother actually showed this to me just before the show, before I logged on tonight, and I was really, really, really upset. So a St. Thomas vacation turns to nightmare as suspect kidnaps a couple, rapes the female during hours-long ordeal.
Damn.
See, this is the thing. What the fuck wrong with you in St. Thomas? For real. Like, this is our Virgin Islands. I am constantly telling people about coming to the Virgin Islands, and then you have an idiot that shows up in a freaking mask. The little couple is trying to have their little thing on the beach, and he gonna show up talking about why y'all ain't having sex. Kidnaps the couple, take them to the bank, get money, takes them to buy weed, takes the chick in the freaking bushes, rape her, brings her back, a whole heap of shit. And then he's found the following day driving the same truck, like nothing.
Not he asked her why y'all ain't having sex because he wanted to record a porno too.
He asked why y'all ain't having sex.
Wow.
It's the thing is so long I don't even want to get into it. But I'm really, really upset because that shit is retarded. Now your face is all over the place. You look stupid. It's disgusting, really.
The problem is tourists. They sorry, and I'm sure most of.
And then look at her face. Look at her face.
Well, that's why he wanted to know. Shit, he probably ain't getting none. That's why he wanted to see somebody else. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. You in the Virgin Islands, right? At 6 o'clock, 6:30, that sun is totally down. It's freaking dark as hell. This figure out there, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, running behind this couple. He's wearing a ski mask, as black as he is. They can't see you out there, Lindbergh. Ain't no lights out there. They're on the beach trying to get their little thing on, and then here you come, mess up the whole thing.
Smile.
Kidnapping, all types of shit. You done took them to the store. Look, he done took them to the bank, got the money, went to the weed spot, got the weed, went to the gas station, got some liquor, went back to the beach.
That's crazy.
Raped the lady. Come on now.
I'm sure he was on some good shit. So it was what it was. I'm sure. But
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so that was my upsetting whatchamacallit, and it goes on because we have not heard of anything happening like that in a very, very long time. You're gonna hear burglaries, you're gonna hear shit happening, folks getting this
Or
and
something
that,
like that. Huh?
occasional murder here and there, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all
Just
related.
no
You
big
did
deal.
something to me, you're gonna die. But raping tourists,
Mm-mm.
Man, he could at least offered her, a tour. Yeah, I mean, but it's getting rough. Everywhere is getting rough, expensive. Look, people
let
should
me
know
tell you
better.
something. If he had offered them a tour around the island and charged them $75 for a tour, he would have had weed and drinks, and they would have had the night of their life. But
But
no, you go being a criminal. Then you would have had friends for life because they come back next year with more family members. Now who they calling? They calling the boy,
yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying.
dumbass. But he's criminally minded. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go to rough. He had to go to get his fix, and now you're gonna be doing time, dumbass.
Be like that sometimes, though. So yeah.
Yes.
Do we
What
have any music tonight?
Anywho,
Any music from the new rapper?
oh hell no, I'm not doing that.
No, we wasn't doing that at all. And
Why you thought I
that
was?
is
Oh, that was
that is
dumb.
actually it, guys, for my 411s. Do y'all have any 411s of your own?
Just just some of the stuff you were into. Like I said, some of the same shit. But I definitely wanted to get to your question and a couple other things in the sports world before we got to the actual topic and CB
Well-
stuff as well. But what you
Well,
got?
I really don't have anything, but I do have some 411. So, the former president, cult leader, was found guilty of not one, not two, not three, not four, not 5 counts,
34.
but 34 counts. Guilty, 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 guilty. He was found guilty. Guilty, 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 guilty.
Okay. Okay.
Guilty.
All right.
And we can move on because you would reside right there for a long time.
Right. I'm about to say, watch The Simpsons for the rest of that. They'll tell you.
JJ, have a good night, my love. We see you.
Bye,
Well,
JJ said,
JJ.
have a good night. See everyone next week.
Have a good night.
All right. They do it.
Yo, let's get it. Sports and fitness with Roger Hawkins.
I love it. I love it. So real quick, because I know I definitely want to chop it up with Mimi on her subject, but we did talk about Jerry, R.I.P. A couple of other. We lost Larry Allen a week or two ago. We didn't get to talk about that. Played for the Cowboys when they won the championship. He was a bad boy, so he was pretty young. I'm tired of seeing a bunch of young people going down. Y'all know I have my thoughts on that. It worries me. But anyway, R.I.P. to Larry Allen. I didn't want to get too far with and Prince Marquis, Brother Marquise from the 2 Live crew. Y'all don't bullshit. I'm about to play some 2 Live crew later on because my man, we lost one of the nasty men. Yeah,
Um,
but
I
anyway,
didn't know that.
yeah, it happened
know that
few
either.
days ago. So anyway, a couple of things I wanted to get at, really sports wise. Main thing is they are incorporating the Negro League statistics into the Major League record books. So some things are going to change, and some people are going to be pissed. It is, but how can you call something a record if everybody's not included that was playing? Just like, how can you call yourself world champion if you only play people from your country? Like, this
Right.
is arrogance. But anyway,
Sure.
that's
Right.
going to be great for Kansas City in particular because we had Buck O'Neil, we had Satchel Paige, but I mean, then you've also got Gibson and just so many other people. So I can't wait to see that where they slide in and things like that. It's going to be great, but people are going to be mad as shit when Babe Ruth drops down a little bit, when Mickey Mantle, some of those guys drop down. They're going to be mad. And, you know, if you're great, you're great, but call it fair. So anyway, I'm excited about that. The only other thing, I mean, everywhere you look, we having this Caitlyn Jenner or this Caitlyn Clark talk, but whatever. But people are just mad because she wasn't included on the Olympic team. I don't know if you follow that at all, but since she's kind of the phenom of the WNBA, what's your thoughts on her being left off of the Olympic roster this summer?
I don't care.
I mean,
I can't tap on it because I don't know much about it, but no.
I think it's a good move, but basically,
Mhm.
people are, everybody, the WNBA is kind of hate. Here's the thing: am I a fan? Not necessarily one way or the other. She was a great college baller, but people are pissed because here's the thing: do they think she's getting unfair treatment in several ways, extra privileges or extra bad treatment? Maybe, but here's the thing: the same thing happened in the NBA with certain rookies that came in. You're going to get beat up. You're going to get tested. You're going to get
Right.
tried. People are mad and saying, but I don't know how I feel about the thing. A lot of it is being said that it's because she's straight and white that she's getting treated like this. There may be something to that because at least a third or more of the WNBA is not straight,
Mhm.
and more than that is not white. And so I get it because there are players that have played for years and not getting the exposure she's getting, the money she's getting. So you can be mad about that, and it is what it is. But here's what I say: she's still bringing something that wasn't there before. She's helping bring it about, not single-handedly, but it is what it is. So just proof that women hate women sometimes. I mean, they mad at this little girl. They mad, and again, she was a baller in college. She's getting her ass whooped right now, but she's a little girl compared to some of them big chicks. So
Mhm.
anyway, I just wanted, I know people are upset and they're on both sides of the fence, but get over it. You play a game for a living. Get over it. That's what I
Right.
really want to tell them. Get over it. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to save some time for what you were talking about. Mimi, holler at me. What you want to?
Okay, so what are your thoughts on water fasting? Have you ever done it?
Not really, but what time frame are you talking?
Like 72 hours?
Oh, well, I will say you're obviously that's not bad. You're more than capable of doing that.
Mhm.
I'm a very active person, so like the whole fasting, like when I think of that, like I'll cut my calories way down, or I'll not eat at a certain time, or go from like say 8 o'clock to so put it like this: the longest I've really fasted, whether it was inadvertently or not, was probably a little more than 24. But that's also because again, I have to be very physical and active in
Mhm.
work and in training. Um,
When you did that, was it more intermittent or was it like water or
well,
liquids?
liquids. It was more liquids.
Okay.
Like I do broth because broth has very little substance and calories, but it does have something. Has a little bit of protein, but it's
Mhm.
99% water. So I do things like broth and tea and stuff like that. So not strictly water, but very close.
Okay.
You can get something from it, vitamins and stuff like that. Now I will say for me, it was easier when if I started, let's say from 8 p.m. or whatever, whenever my last meal was 5, 6, 7, 8,
Mhm.
to go through the whole next day because once your body is in that process of fasting and you've gone
Mhm.
through a couple of digestive cycles, it
Mhm.
becomes a little bit numb. It becomes easier to continue the fast. But if you wake
Mhm.
up, eat breakfast, and go, I ain't eat no more, you're gonna struggle throughout the day. So that's for me. That's what I
Right.
found works for me. If I'm going to do 16 or 20 hours or whatever to kind of do a little bit of a purge.
Mhm. Mhm.
72, I've not gone that far. I haven't really been able to, but I wouldn't. Coconut water is another big one. Anything like that. It's got electrolytes, stuff like that. So yeah, there are ways you can do it, but
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not really big on zero. I'm big on very minimal when I'm
Mhm.
trying to fast or purge, but not big on nothing because I have to be active. But
Right.
72 is very doable if that's what you chose to do. It's very doable.
Mhm.
Don't have anything really important to do, but
Right.
72 is very doable, especially like I said with vitamins and broth and coconut water. Oh yeah, it's very doable, and you'll
Yeah.
still have energy too. See, it's different when you didn't have like the minerals that were in the vitamins now, the multis and stuff like that. You've got all of that
Mhm.
now, so it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah. I'm thinking of giving it a shot and see how it works out. I'll let you know.
Okay, as long as you've got
Yeah.
like if you got that kind of stuff around you that can supplement the
Mhm.
nutrition, I think it'll be cool. You can pull it off, definitely, and
Yeah.
it'll be easier than it would have been like some years ago. So,
Because
but
I
yes,
started doing some smoothies some weeks now, but I'm thinking that it's something in those smoothies that's making me gain versus losing. Like I don't feel like I'm losing with smoothies and stuff like that.
two things. One, are you using any like dairy products?
Well, you know what? I just recently started with the almond milk, but I was really just doing it with water, and then I started doing it with like diet cranberry, like the cranberry drinks and
Mm,
stuff like that, like juices that have no sugar.
okay. Um, I would say this. I would say, do your research on what's really in the juices and the almond milk and stuff like that. But like I said
Hmm.
earlier, coconut water, if you're the kind that likes coconut and coconut
And I
water,
do.
it's a great for one. It's better than Gatorade in
Yes.
terms of
Oh,
electrolytes and all.
Gatorade is the devil. That should
But
send my pressure through
but
the
I'm saying
roof.
like coconut water is good for that, and it's better than plain
Hmm.
water. And so like
Hmm.
stuff like that, absolutely you can do that. The smoothies, but depending on what you put in it, and also depending on how many. I just had this conversation earlier with someone. Depending on
Hmm.
how many calories you're having a day, you can actually go in reverse. Because your body will go into what's called starvation syndrome, and then it won't let you lose weight because it thinks you're starving to death. So you do have
Okay.
to have a certain amount of calories a day for normal body function. If you go below that, your body will start to shut down and shut off, and it won't let nothing go.
So
So
that
be
is my thought with the water fasting. If you're not getting enough calories into your body, because your body eventually is going to go into ketosis
uh-huh.
with the
And I mean,
water.
and again, everybody's a little different, so you kind of have to
Hmm.
kind of do it by trial and error. But yeah, once again, if you're just doing your normal routine day to day, going by, and then you're just saying, okay, this is all I'm doing. I don't know. It's just kind of
Yeah.
your body's different than mine, so I can't really tell you what's going to happen. But the safe way is what I
Hmm.
just got to kind of saying. That's the safe
Yeah.
way.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. But definitely keep me up on that. Keep me up
Yeah.
on it. CB, you ready for that?
Well, I've been exercising on the bed. Like I've been doing like the exercises that they had me doing physical therapy, where you
Hmm.
like lay on your back and do a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
And that stuff is pretty effective, and you can really feel the burn by doing that. You don't have to like be standing upright. I'm finding, or jumping, doing jumping jacks, or
Sure.
doing things, standing up and, getting fatigued. So I find that exercising while laying down is very beneficial.
Motion is motion. So yes, you're
Hmm.
right. At least to start, the thing about it, and anything that burns calories is good. You burn calories in your sleep. So
Right.
clearly what you're saying is 100% true. If you're lying down, think about it. When people are recovering or they've gotten too far where they can't walk or run, the first thing as trainers, you put them on a bike. You put them on the hand bike, and that burns calories. Okay, so then
Hmm.
after that, maybe they start to lose a little bit with diet and things like that. Then you get to walk, and then maybe steps and maybe jog. So yes, any kind of constant motion for a specific length of time is good. So, and if
Hmm.
you're burning it and you feel it and you like it, stick with it. Eventually you have to kind of add a little intensity or a little bit of time, but stick with it, because all of that equates to, it beats doing nothing. Sitting around doing nothing is the easiest thing for people to do, and it doesn't work. So
Well,
Yeah.
I'm happy to report that I can now get into a size 16 again, which that hasn't happened for a long time.
see,
So I
boom.
didn't think that I could fit them, but I put them on and I wore my size 16s.
Hey,
Yay. Go
cheers.
ahead, Crystal.
Hmm.
Yeah. Progress. Progress.
Right, we got
Yes.
all kind of shit going on. That's what I'm talking about. But keep doing that. Like I said, we got some things to talk about for October. Don't be bullshitting me, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna get mad. So you know what it is.
Yep.
I know we getting ready
Oh,
though.
I'll
Oh,
be ready.
June,
I'll
I
be
got
ready.
June. I got June, July. Yeah, I got to get ready for 2-piece weather, baby. I got shit to do. Um, that's what's up. So I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right. Well, good to everybody. Let's hit it.
Now, let's check out the movies with Crystal C.B. Booker.
Well, yeah.
I got you.
Well, Bad Boys 4 is out, so everybody should definitely go support that. Um, it's actually pretty good. They did over 58 million for opening weekend, well over that. So they're doing good. And it looks like Will Smith will be, uh, I won't say vindicated, but at least he's getting back into the fold slowly but surely. But I think this movie is definitely something that he needed for sure um, after the Oscar fiasco. So the slap heard round the world. Also, still in theaters is Garfield and the Planet of the Apes, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. So definitely go support Planet of the Apes. It is such a good film. Oh, the special effects are so good. I mean, it just seems so real. So definitely check out that film. Um, but yeah, just
So,
check it out. And then something else you guys might want to consider watching is the show Bridgerton. I know a lot of people are into it. So definitely check it out and let me know your thoughts. And let me know if I should start watching it. So if you guys suggest that I should, then I will, and we can get caught up on what's going on in Bridgerton.
so I got a surprise. I actually saw Bad Boys about 3 hours ago, and my sisters drugged me, of course. Uh, but what's interesting, I didn't see number three. Saw one and two, didn't see three. But obviously, I'm moderately intelligent, so you can kind of figure out the little missing parts. Um,
Mm.
Interesting spin on things. I know Will helped produce and write and things like that. We were talking about this before the show about how this brother's talented. I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about the slap and his whole shitty marriage and life and all that. From the standpoint of being a talented brother, this guy he's a legend. He really is. Personal life aside, he's a legend. And just some of the stuff we were talking about was how there was a scene where he was shooting, doing like a selfie, a one person POV shot, and he actually got to do that and film it. So he filmed himself, filming himself and shooting. I mean, this dude's talented. I
Yeah.
have so much respect for Will Smith as an artist. I always
Yeah.
have and always will as an artist. Good movie, like I said. A little worried about Martin. Everybody said that. There's some things that I worry about him. I hope he's doing well. I don't care what he says. I'm just saying. But I
Yeah.
love those guys' chemistry. I agree with CB clearly. It was a good movie. It tied some things together. I won't ruin it for you, but there was some really, really cool moments that got tied in with some of the original cast members and things like that. I think they did a really good job of that. So
The
that being
action was really good.
said, they definitely had a lot of boom, boom, bang, bang.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
it wasn't a dull film at all. I think everyone will definitely enjoy it. It was definitely worth the wait for sure.
yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Mm.
I think y'all saw the previews with Reggie. The brother looked 30 when he was 15, so he definitely got his shine in the movie. He got his shine. For those that go see it, you are going to cheer 100% for Reggie. Reggie's, he's growing up, watching him grow up. I love when people bring other people back and stuff like that. So again, just good job with that. They need to be done with this shit though. I love, some sequels are good and all that. Sit down. We ain't gonna do Fast and Furious 32 with Bad Boys. Bad Boys 72. They're in their wheelchairs and shooting. Damn it.
Right. No. Hopefully we want to do that.
But
But I know that Faster Furious is coming out, the
I won't
part
see it.
2. So I'm totally waiting for that. Totally waiting for that.
What's it like number 12? Only thing you listen. I watched the first couple and then I was like, all right, it was killing me. The only thing I can say is my little brother painted the cars that Tyrese and Paul Walker drove in the second one.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a bad boy out of Atlanta. So anyway, see, every now and then something decent comes from Atlanta. That's it. Just all the crime, but that's my little brother. That's what we got rocking. But listen, if y'all ain't got nothing else, look, we got a pretty decent one. This ought to be good with just me here. This ought to be a pretty good subject, but I've got some twisting questions to that. So CB, if you bring us in.
Yes, the topic tonight is staying for the kids really best for the kids? And by that, I mean, in many relationships, many people just decide to stay together just for the sake of the kids. But is that really what's best? In my opinion, no, because kids feed off of stress. Kids feed off of knowing that something's wrong. They can tell when a parent isn't happy. They can tell when there's no love in a relationship. They can tell these things.
Mhm.
And they can tell when something's off. Because I know many a times as a kid, me and my little brother, we were sent out of the room, but we actually were standing in the hall, sitting on the floor, listening to everything that was going on. So just when you think you're shielding your kids from whatever it is you're trying to shield them from, you're not shielding them from anything.
Mhm.
And things like that, kids are not stupid. School perhaps now, but as far as things that happen to them in life, and knowing, when something's off in their family, kids aren't dumb. They're not stupid.
Mm. Miss Acosta.
I totally agree. Um, I came up in a single family home, and I could still remember things that happened prior to my father moving on, and they weren't nice. It's the kind of stuff that stays embedded in your brain, you know. And me myself, I'm saying, with my kids. Well, my son was raised with his father, and my daughter was raised with me. They have, different dads, and I had this golden rule: I will never argue in front of my daughter. That is to never happen. We're gonna have our conversations away from it, but we ain't gonna have no brawls. My daughter's not about to experience that. And I could knock on wood and say that we've never been in a situation where it's been crazy and she had to be like, the mommy, what the hell happened? Like, what is that? Like, what? Like, no feelings of that type of thing whatsoever. Can't say the same for my son. I can't really talk on, his relationships, but I know that it definitely does put a damper in your world when you're raised with all that type of trauma and stress. And now the only thing that you have to say is bad things about either one parent or another, because it's not only men that, experience, women experience this with kids by themselves. You have a lot of single men out there too that experience a lot of toxicity with women and craziness. And now the women have to be removed from the house because she done lost her man, and then the kids are all messed up, and so it's all bad. It's
Okay.
all bad. And when it's good, it is super good. Like,
Hmm.
it's rare when you meet a child that
Yes.
can say, "I have not experienced that," But when you do, it's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's that's pretty interesting. I think the spin is so weird nowadays. So my short answer before I give the long is should you, if uh if at all possible, yeah, 100%. Because we've all witnessed what it's like growing up in a single parent household. I was in a single parent household twice, through no fault of anybody's, but everybody has been to some degree.
Mhm.
Obviously, having been on the other side of that for 114 years myself, I will say, like anything, you don't like your job all the time, you don't like your car all the time, you don't like anything all the time. Shit happens, but
Right.
recognizing the advantages, and this is coming from a father, so it's a little different because you always hear the whole, oh, deadbeat dad left and all that. I don't know how much it is about whether we leave, or whether because listen, so much happens that can and can't be, like, okay, if there's no, let's say, violence, if there's no fighting, if there's no drug abuse, if we take out all the factors that create an unsafe environment, do
Mhm.
I think? Yeah, I do. I don't give a shit if one of you sleeps downstairs and one upstairs. And what Mimi said is golden too. It's I think a lot of parents wish they never did argue in front of their kids, if they did, but it can't get so volatile that people start to fear for their.
Right.
So that comes down to emotional maturity, which unfortunately a lot of people don't have. So for
Mhm.
me, it's kind of a no brainer. Listen, if we decide that we can't really be together and all that shit, listen. my crib has enough room and space where I can go here, you can go there. Don't bring no shit to my doorstep. I won't do it either. When the kids are older, grown, you say that. So my
Yeah.
answer is yes. I've seen and dated too many that didn't have their daddy in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, walking daddy issues ain't no bullshit. So if my kids had daddy issues, it's gonna be from their daddy. So, but my thought was even just having two different opinions, two different schools of thought,
Mm-hmm.
because one of them may be like one parent, one may be like the other. My son never saw me do anything crazy in the house anyway. I mean, outside the house, I was nut. But
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I'm proud of the way the path he's steering. Hell, he's way more staunch and stalwart than I was.
Mm-hmm.
The girls, whether they like or agreed with anything, it's not their place, but at least they can say there was the stability and there was a lack of fear. You go to
Mm-hmm.
sleep not worrying about something happening because of who's there. Like all of that stuff,
Right.
I always wanted for mine. So that was my choice. Sometimes it ain't safe. You're right. It's not safe. But and for me, I realized I know my levels and thresholds and things like that. So there was really not a worry about that. If you get to that point where you're that upset, then yes, you do have to make a move if it's just not safe. But this is
Right.
something that we have to know with the choices we make.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
find that interesting. And again, not having the experiences that you guys had, because see, I didn't, I had a dad for uh 4.5, 5 years. That was it. So from 0 to 9, nothing. From
Mm-hmm.
9 to 14, and then that was it. And then from 15 until adulthood, I had
Mm-hmm.
single parents. So my parents passed when I was earlier. My grandmother was my second mother, and so we didn't skip a beat. But there is something to be said about growing up in a household with just one ruler, one opinion, one everything. So sometimes that can be
Mm-hmm.
great. Other times you need that. So I find that interesting. That. So if you guys had the option, would you have preferred I mean, maybe not the situation you had, but obviously, would you have preferred to be like, yeah, I would have liked if things went better and he was around, or can you say, you know what, maybe this worked out better. Maybe I feel like I'm whatever better for it or not worse for it. If you could switch the situation.
If I could switch it, I would have loved my dad to been around. He was really freaking cool. He was
Sure.
fun. I mean, like when we did visit in Puerto Rico, like he did crazy shit, like opening up the freaking hydrants out in the street and water everywhere.
Yes,
Like we had it was Christmas in July whenever we
that's what we
spent time
did.
with him. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And I really cherish those moments,
Okay.
that we did.
Okay.
So yeah. And then, my mom didn't have relationships where shit got crazy. So it was just my mom was off the chain. That's what it was. So we got
Okay. I mean,
it's like
look, just keeping it a buck.
hey,
I appreciate the honesty. CB, what about you? What say you? Because I know your pops, didn't your dad live out there, out where you are?
What, in Arizona?
Your dad didn't live out there, did he?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, my dad. I moved to Arizona after dad passed.
I knew it was
Um,
something. Yeah,
Dad was a part of my life, but he never lived with my mom.
sure.
See, when my mom met dad, he was married and she didn't know. My uncle found out the truth. And then he told my mom the truth. She was very pregnant with me at the time and she went into labor.
I hate when that
And
happens.
yeah. And prior to that, like my dad's name was Audrey Poole.
Hmm.
And my mom's name, of course, is Lynette Booker.
Hmm.
So she was going to combine their names, and I was going to be, you can't get more country than this, Audra Lynn,
Nigga.
which
Woo!
I hated. But since she got pregnant and she went into labor when she found out the truth, she was so mad that when she took one look at me, she called me Crystal. And I'm so happy about that. Like,
Damn, she was so
everything
okay.
happens for a reason.
Mama Spitfire. Hey, we got to shout out my brother. I
I
said
said
it.
it.
Bam.
What's up, man?
What's up, Big?
Hi.
Hey, man, don't think I forgot about coming to Shy too. I know me and them get out there and all that. Y'all think you're gonna leave your brother out?
I
I'm
didn't.
gonna
I wasn't able to get out, but I'm getting
real.
out.
Hey, I'm gonna catch you out there, bro. But hey, man, big up. I said it is doing big things, y'all. I just need y'all to
Yes,
know my
he
man
is.
is doing things. My man is out there doing things. So he's got a lot popping. But appreciate it, brother. Okay, but here's what's interesting, and I say this a lot because I just obviously we make certain choices when we're certain ages, blah blah blah. We don't know, but statistically speaking,
Yeah.
women leave relationships far more than men, 70 to 80% by statistics. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Why do we keep doing that?
Because I was trying to read it. All
So
right.
in
So
my
it
opinion, so
says,
let's read it. In my opinion, yes, stay for the same of the creation you both created. But if it is volatile situation that the children has to witness, then separate. But well said, my brother Roger. Blessings. Yeah, I said it.
I'm feeling you.
Yeah, I said it. I love when he says
I
that.
said it.
yeah.
I
I
said
think of
it.
him every time I tell people that. Um, I think what's interesting though is you're right. Listen, I'm not gonna say it's not. It's easy for us. My mom told my sister. My grandmother told my mom. When you leave the hospital, that baby goes home with you, whether you
Mhm.
guys live together or not. So these are things that obviously need to be thought about, and nobody can predict the future. But all that to
Mhm,
say, me being who I am, if it's something that I intended,
mhm,
if whether it be the situation or my children or whatever, yeah, I'm a fighter by nature. I'm going to go down with the ship if I have to. But you're right. No, it cannot be unsafe. But that's a choice thing. Like I mean, there's just certain types I'm probably not going to pick
mhm.
because we both can't be the man. We both can't be
Right.
and that kind of shit. But we don't think like that. So that's why I say, yeah, if it and we always say, you know what, when they get older, you know what, if let's just say if me and my old lady weren't getting along or things were going crazy, if my children who are adults were old enough to come to me and go, Dad, come on, brother, you got to do so and so, you don't need this, or you know what, I don't know that this is healthy, and I'm like, hey, you guys okay? Which technically I know they are, but you know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
They are
mhm,
still
mhm.
used to seeing me, whether they like me, love me, agree with me, or whatever.
Right.
I still have a responsibility. The one
Mhm,
thing you will
mhm,
do is respect me. You ain't gotta like me today. I don't give a shit. Most of my
mhm,
friends don't like me, but you have to
mhm.
respect me, and you know I'm here for you. 100%. They understand that. Ergo, as long as we get that, I'm fine. But if they were to come to me and say this is toxic, it's bad for, we're feeling crazy. She's feeling crazy. You're feeling crazy, Daddy. If you need to go, we're okay. That would, at a certain point, that would have been my go button if along the way. But while they were young and in high school, in that stage where they really, really needed me, no,
Right.
hell no. At least I'm not going far. I'm not
Mhm,
going far. And I don't care about what or who she does. I'm not going
mhm.
far. At this point, they're adults. Guess what? Still fucking need me. They don't know it. They don't think it. They do. Let something go wrong. Whose phone's gonna get
I
called?
think girls love the security of daddy or a father figure being around.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And
Women,
especially if it's positive and it's good and it's good for us.
sure.
We want to know, my mom had her dated, and there's a couple of the guys that I just really really like. You know what I'm saying? And I talked to my brother and I
100%.
just reached out to my stepdad the other day because that was just like he was just a cool guy.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like regardless of some folks are just really, really cool. And we like that. Us girls like that security. We like to know, somebody's protecting us.
Sure. Women,
Right.
Yeah.
women respect strength. My ladies, my girls, my women respect strength, and it doesn't have to just be physical, but
Hmm.
that's the emotional support. I mean, everybody's different.
Right.
Some women love that financial strength. Some women love that emotional strength and the cerebral, and then some just
Hmm.
like you said, the presence. I know what my presence does, even if they don't realize it. It's funny. I've actually been told by someone in my family, that they're not, yeah, we ain't worried about this. You know why you're not worried about that? If I come in bitching about the door open or being unlocked or whatever, you want to know why you ain't worried about it? Because you cocksuckers go to bed every night knowing that this crazy bastard's going to come in the house and check, and heaven forbid, because guess who gets to go get up and check it out? That's a privilege a lot of people don't even know they
Hmm.
have, and so
Hmm.
you take it for granted until it's gone. And
Yes.
again, it's not about wanting to get an award for anything like that. It's just to understand that I know my role and my duty, whether you like it, love it, or appreciate it. But women do respect strength, and man,
Hmm.
we respect. So that's why I
Right.
say that all the time. Respect is above everything with us. And as long as I get that, you can walk in every day and tell me, "Oh, I can't stand your ass. Glad you're here." And walk to your room. I'd be the happiest cat you know. I'm doing my job. So I just think that's really interesting how many people may or may not have the option and choose to forego that for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to know, and I'll ask around for people that I know and trust. But what is the thought on that? Because I know people that have done it. We all know people that have done it. Our kids are okay. And now I'm gonna kind of spin the question a little bit on you guys, and this ought to be interesting considering our situations. So here's the question I want to know of you ladies and whoever's out there. Do you believe that your children come first in your relationship? Now, I'm not talking about a boyfriend per se. I'm talking about if you have a situation, maybe you're living with, and I'm not talking about anything is going bad. Let's say in an ideal world, everything's cool. Mom and dad go to work, kids, no abuse, no drugs, no violence, no nothing. Do your children come before the spouse, the partner that you had them with?
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say that my partner is gonna come first. I would say that, and that's my child's father. We fathered this child together.
Right. Okay.
That's where the respect and loyalty goes to.
Okay. CB.
For me, my kids come first.
Okay. Now, I've got some. I've looked at some videos and heard this and things like that, and I'm not telling anybody they're right or wrong. I'm saying, in my respective opinion, if I, first, and the problem is, okay, my opinion is, yes, your spouse comes first. Your spouse or your partner or whoever you made them with and all that. It's different if you have a pre-made family and then someone comes in. They have to be vetted. They have to kind of earn the right, blah, blah, blah. But if you say we're going to be a unit, we're going to do this together, at that point, it has to change. So, and the reason being is because you cannot expect someone to put everything in when they know the only thing they're getting out is like you're basically being tolerated. And that's also saying that I am willing to let this go and not be in this if something goes, awry. So obviously, look, we made our children, all of us, and we were crazy about our children. We would give our last breath for our children. The difference is, let's say, women, y'all know y'all ain't meant to cohabitate. You love your daughter, but if y'all live together. You know what I'm saying? You live with your daughter, and I know how your daughter's attitude is because all the women in your family got it. So we've met, baby. That being said, we love our children, but same thing. My girls know they run over me, but if one of them got into a beef with their mom and she was like, "Can't do this. She's got to go." Guess what? She would have to go. Now, would Daddy get her a place and take care of all that shit? Hell yeah. But
Right.
I've told them since they've been little, I'm on her side. Even when I couldn't stand her ass, even if it was a day when I was like, boy, whoo, I'd set her ass on fire. If a house fell on her ass, like in the Wizard of Oz, I mean, I've had those days. But if she's beefing with the girls and they wilding, I'm going to go talk to them because Daddy's the voice of reason. I'm going to calm her down. I'm going to do all that. But if it really got to a disrespectful level, oh, no, you got to go. Because guess what? When they leave, it's just us. You looking at them. It's just us.
Yeah.
And if y'all ain't on the same team, but unfortunately, too many people don't think like that. That's men and women. Too many people say that. And again, it's not that I'm the psychiatrist or therapist or whatever, but that's the truth. The person you chose has to be your ride or die. The person you made has to comply. And so I think that's where we've gotten out of that, unfortunately, because since the 60s, shit has gone so wrong. So wrong. And too many of us are gone for different reasons. Sometimes it's our fault, sometimes it ain't. Too many of us are gone to the pen or to the cemetery or just wherever.
Right.
But that can't be an excuse. But at the same time, yeah, like I said, no, I'm not going to let anybody hurt anybody. But I've always wanted to ask that. I'm just curious to know what people's thoughts are because it kind of shows the priorities you have in your respective house and world. Like, some people are just used to living by themselves. How many times I've heard people go, I'm used to living by myself. Shit, I don't think I could live with nobody else. I get a house with more than one wing. I'm just saying. So
No, I'm definitely there. I just think I've always thought, because I've always wanted that. I always wanted that for myself. I always wanted a
Right.
male father figure, this, that, because I think that that is necessary in a house when you're raising kids. And I've
Yeah.
always had this order in my head of God, man, woman, child. Like I've always, that's been my thought process forever, from as long as I know that a mommy and a daddy, and then there's God. You know what I'm saying? I've always thought that way. Like the man should be the
I be
protector,
wanting
the
to disagree with
provider,
you
and the,
sometimes, but I can't, baby. You good?
it's just that, like, and at the end of the day, if I am with somebody and it's not their dad, and they're grown and we
Mhm.
have issues, and you're up under my roof, technically you're leaving.
But
Like you said, would you help them get their spot? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Let's work that
yeah,
out.
I'm not gonna
But
forsake them.
but
Yeah,
I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let go what I have going on or what I have building because
right.
y'all can't get along. If y'all can't get along, and I'm thinking that y'all are going to at some point kill each other, you got
Oh
to
yeah,
go, baby boy,
and that's
because
what
you
I was
got your
gonna
whole
ask.
life
That's what
ahead of
I was
you.
gonna ask. Have you ever? I was gonna ask that. Have you guys ever had a situation where one of your kids did not approve of the person that maybe you were seeing?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'd had that situation, and it wasn't that he didn't approve; it was that he was being disrespectful, and he
Hmm.
had to go.
Okay, because yeah, he wanted to be the lion. CB.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. You can't be the lion when you're being helped.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah, you
bars.
are relocating, you are staying here, and then you want to be disrespectful and do your own things and slam doors and be who you are. No, you gotta go.
Facts.
So yeah.
Respect. CB. What about you?
Yeah, I've been in that situation, and yeah, the guy, he had to go. The
The
kids
guy.
didn't like him, so he had to go.
So you.
For me, it's been me and my kids against the world. We've been the three musketeers. So, and it's been like that since day one.
Right.
So, and their dad and I, we did try it, but it was a volatile, abusive relationship, and that wasn't good for the children. So, we went our separate ways. But when I dated this one guy, and the twins just didn't like him. And it turned out he was on drugs, so they had great reason to not like him. So he had to go, and
Uh.
he had to move out.
Right. So, and I guess so. In the, we tease you a lot. We tease you a lot. Let me say hi. What's up to my brother though? My brother
Hey
Trey.
Trey,
Hey Trey.
I'm gonna
I
get
didn't
on
even
you.
I didn't even see Trey creep in here.
I
Yeah.
didn't either.
Hey, that's how Trey is. Trey, the backdoor bandit. He ain't shit. But, but yeah, I was gonna ask. So I know CB, we tease you a lot about your trust issues and things like that. Um, and so in the past, that's one thing. But let's speak on the fact that all of us are where we are in life in terms of age, wisdom, experience. And it's funny. I had this discussion with my daughter's boyfriend the other day. Kid's 22. He's a little bit older, smart guy. Yeah, and I think we have things in common, which is fucking scary. But and I was telling him the same thing. Like
Because
certain
then
things.
she'll have to deal with the same thing in the future. So she'll always have daddy around.
And what's crazy is my oldest daughter is, like I said, she was like one of the first. She was the first great granddaughter, so she's kind of got that space in it. And it's funny because exteriorly, I guess she's all not me, but there's a lot of her interior that is me, and maybe that bothers her, maybe it doesn't, because I know growing up, my kids probably saw me as I was more of a coach dad in a lot of ways. So not overly emotional, not overly things, but I just wanted to make sure that they were not so thin-skinned and hypersensitive, that they were prepared for anything. Now that we're older, I am trying to soften up and come out of my shell and things like that, because I need them to know how much and how important they are to me. And a lot of this is new territory for me, believe it or not. And it's cool. I'm
Mhm.
not young and got an ego and rep and all this bullshit. So, and it's cool to be able to talk with your kids and have that, see them growing up every day knowing that I was there. That was cool. But now we have to
Right.
go back and kind of fill in some of the blanks where maybe I
Mhm.
couldn't have been as soft because I was working my ass off or doing different things.
Mhm.
That being said, I had explained to that young man, I said, son, you're going to learn that wisdom only comes from living and experience. So even though you guys read all kind of shit, y'all learn things and you think you know shit, you don't. You don't know human
Mhm.
nature, and so you're gonna have to understand. I understand. I want anybody that wants to go crazy doing what they got to do to keep my goofy ass kids happy is all right with me, you know.
Mhm.
Because I
Mhm.
was like, maybe I said, homeboy, they're gonna want you to be a mind reader, then they're gonna want something one way, and they don't want it different the next day. I said, oh, brother, get ready, get ready. But the fact that it's my kid and he does that, I'm like, cool, my man's gonna take care. But CB, I was gonna ask, like, at this point, not when they were younger, because your kids are old as shit like mine are. We got old motherfuckers. Uh,
Yeah.
at this point, would you be open to thinking differently? So, for instance, if you had a good dude that you liked and you knew he was about his business, but let's say maybe because it has been you guys for so long,
They
and
don't
then,
exist.
huh?
They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
exist.
We are not a dime a dozen. We are hard to come by. I'm a little bit of fantastic,
There
but
are no diamonds in the rough. Only rough.
you know, well, I
Damn
could
it,
count.
it's so hard to ask her a question because she
She's
comes
so
right
full of
out the
shit. Yo.
gate with this
CB so
book.
full of shit. No, CB digging in the wrong damn diamond mine because she's in Arizona. That's her fault. Fucking ain't no diamond.
She need to
But
get out the desert.
and guess
There's
what?
green grass in Georgia. You need
Baby
to come.
pool is too shallow. Mm-mm.
If you squeeze a lump of coal, you're gonna get a diamond, girl. But I'm just saying. So if
Who's got
I
that kind of time?
shit your ass apparently,
No.
what else you doing? But I'm just saying, if that miraculous thing happened, and the only reason Ariana was like, I don't really like him, was because maybe she thought he was imposing or he was stepping in on her time and all that. Would that be something you'd be willing to deal with and say, hey, you got to understand, mama got to have a life too, and this is a good person. So, you can't really find any flaws other than he's taking, what you thought was all of your time. Would you be open to saying, hey, reasoning with her? She's an adult. She's an adult.
Yeah.
I know how she is.
Yeah. She's 26. So they both are. And speaking of which, shout out to both of mine because Irma's bought a new car a
Mm-mm.
week before Ariana just bought her new car. So they both have their first cars
Oh shit.
bought by them, paid by them. No help from me.
Oh, watch out now.
Yeah,
Hey,
so it's cool. My baby's
milestone.
official now.
So let me
Baby's
date both of us. So this is how long I've been knowing this goof right here. I bought my first new car, and this one up here in the top is who did the loan, and I went through the insurance company she was working with. My family was Alan's first clients in
Mhm.
1989, and when I got
Yeah.
out of college, wrecked my other car and bought my first new car. That up, that's who did the loan and all that good shit back in
Hey,
1903. hmm
Yep.
So
yeah.
congratulations to them. I think I was probably about 24, and they're
Yeah.
26. So yeah, right on time. I remember the Acura CB. I bought the Acura.
Mhm.
Yep. So that's how long we've been knowing each other. So clearly, when y'all go, why is Roger always fucking with her? Because I can. That's why.
Yeah, you did the time.
Like I said.
Yeah, Ariana got a Hyundai Elantra and Aramis has a Nissan Altima.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
All
My
right.
daughter, I ain't gonna tell no bad stories, but that's
What's funny is
fantastic.
they almost got the same car.
I guess being twins does have that.
It
That's
it
pretty.
Mhm.
has to be something because Aramis works at AT&T and Ariana works at T-Mobile. What are the odds they both work for phone companies?
Well, they shared an umbilical, or they shared a womb, so shit. I guess they probably have similar thoughts. I'm guessing. Now,
Yep.
is
And
he?
you be
Is
having
he?
new
Is he?
phones every.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Is he still in Florida, or is he back this way?
No, he's still in Seattle.
Oh, he's in Seattle.
Mm.
That's mighty white of him. How did the hell that happen? Coffee drinker?
He
Well, their
went far as
dad
hell. He was like, I'm going as far as I can. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
their dad is stationed there, and he
Oh,
went
okay.
there
Oh.
and liked it, and so he doesn't live with John, but he was trying to forge a relationship, and
Okay.
so
Did, and do
for
you do
some,
you
I don't know what it is about boys, but they really crave, having that relationship or that bond with their fathers. So
do fucking tell?
As they should.
Right. It's natural. Okay.
As they
Since
should.
we're taking this across the board, it's natural.
and
Why I mean, think about that. The boy, your mom is your first love, but if he's around, your dad is your first hero. Now realize that no matter how imperfect we may be, I mean, up until a certain point, your dad is the most perfect, the smartest. He's your superhero, and then there comes a point when you realize he's not perfect, and it's a little bit heartbreaking. And then as you
Mhm.
become more of an adult, you start to realize, wow, my dad is flawed, but the effort and all that, it is what it is. He's human. So these are all the things we go through. Now, are you
I said it. I swear I'm gonna choke you.
I can't, boy, I can't. Listen, I can't deal with these dudes. These dudes get on here, they be killing me. Between Trey and I said it, boy, you boys keep me going. Y'all keep me going. Hey, call,
Look,
call her out. Call her out. Hey, and we working on something else, boy. We working on more. Um,
oh no,
but hey,
oh no.
CB, are you an advocate of this, or are you staying out of it? What's your thought process on him wanting a relationship with his dad?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
See, this is your problem right there.
See, that's not cool. That's not cool at all, and you know it, Crystal. That should be a really good thing. Like regardless of what the relationship was with you two,
Right.
better late than never.
It's not.
There's
It's
nothing
not.
wrong with that.
It's not about me. Like seriously.
So okay,
Or,
so
or my relationship with John. What it's about is John is a fucking asshole,
we all
and
are. You're welcome.
I don't want him to hurt my son. I don't want him to be an asshole toward
Well,
his son,
so
and
is that an
he just
issue?
he's an asshole.
Wait, but would that be an issue? Because, and I'm asking seriously, because okay, so this is kind of going back to what we're talking about in terms of staying for the kids. Now, you guys were really really young. I know when you got pregnant and all that shit. I know you were young. Now we're talking almost 3 decades later. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's not still an asshole, because
Oh, he is
a lot
to
of us
the
work really
10,000.
hard to become that, and that's a labor of love, becoming an asshole. But what I'm saying is, for a situation with his son, that's different. It's not you, it's his son. So I would think, I would hope that for the sake of Aramis, you would want that definitely to be a fruitful relationship. You know what I mean?
It's what I have always wanted for the twins to have a relationship with their dad, which is why I stuck around and endured the abuse for so long to the extent where I couldn't take it anymore.
Under,
I don't know if you guys can see it, but this Marcus right here, he tried to stab me with a fucking box cutter. That's how deep it was. So, and I put my hand up as in defense to stop him from doing it. But,
I'm not disagreeing.
but you know,
Okay,
it's not
here's a question.
about me, and I've never thought of it as being about me. But I know that for some reason, like John is an asshole, and he's always been an asshole to the kids. Um, when the twins stayed with him for a school year, because he kept saying that he could do it so much better, he threw Aramis down a flight of stairs, um, and that wasn't cool. He left Ariana in the woods going on a military obstacle course because he felt she needed to lose weight. So he leaves her in the woods by herself. He's thrown a drink in her face. He's just mean to
Oh,
my children.
I got you.
And,
And
Mhm.
again, and we're not here. I don't. You need. I'm not here to try to make you air things out. I'm just asking
no, but
questions.
he's toxic and he
So
has
okay.
always
So
been.
have you talked to Aramis recently? What
Mhm.
are his thoughts? And I don't give me no claptrap and bullshit. What are his thoughts on the building and the trying? Because he's a man. He's a real man now. So
Yeah.
in terms of how he's establishing and they're fostering, what are his thoughts? Is he gung ho for it? Is he putting forth the effort? I mean, has
He
it just
doesn't
begun?
care. He doesn't care. He doesn't even live with John.
No,
He has his own place,
sure.
So my thing is coming up when the twins were coming up, I never said anything derogatory about their father. I never said anything negative about their father in their presence or to them or in earshot of them. I never said anything negative about their dad. I let them see for themselves.
Okay.
And once they started to see, like, Ariana didn't have shit to do with them.
Facts. Okay. I
Like,
mean, look, fair enough. Fair enough.
like when she was shopping for her car, she was excited, and John had told her, well, you know, when you get to the dealership, call me. Well,
Okay.
we get to the dealership, she calls him for nothing. He didn't do shit. He didn't make a difference in anything. I got her the deal that she got. So he didn't do anything. And she was disappointed. She was really, really disappointed that he was useless.
So it appears that even now, every blue moon, they still reach out and make an effort and things like this. Now,
they try.
I believe you've told us this before. So when you guys got together and all that, there were a few things he didn't tell you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
About his situation that was going on when you two were involved, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm just playing devil's advocate because unfortunately I understand the nature of how we crazy men think. But here's what I'll say. A lot of times, not right. A lot of times men aren't ready to be dads, but they're ready to practice. You feel me?
Like,
And
I
so
was ready to be a mom. We had broken up.
no,
And
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, so what happens is you get guys that get angry because they feel like you're trying to ruin or trap or whatever the shit we say, and then they do take it out on you and the children because they are angry. They now have a responsibility.
I never expected anything from John. And I never got child support from him either. I didn't want anything from him.
Could you have?
Could I have gotten? He's in the military. What do you think?
You should have. And I told y'all, I am fair. I'm a dick, but I'm fair. So you should have. And I've said this to more than one person, even if it was me. Here's what I'll say. If a man doesn't want to be involved, don't make him be involved. But if he's got to pay, pay. If I don't want to be involved, I should still pay. But it's not a choice.
But the thing is, we did try for the first 4 years of the twins' lives, first 5 years, we were together, and we were together 5 years before the twins even burst on the scene. So it was unexpected. I'll say that, and we did give it the old college try, but you know, it wasn't.
It wasn't what was best for the kids.
It wasn't.
Right. I understand that part. I get now. Mimi, we've kind of gone down your rabbit hole a few times. Like I said, see, obviously y'all can look and tell right now, and you know her ass is clearly not that no more. Mimi, you know, everybody on here is 27, but you know back in the day, you know, everybody picture Mimi's ass at 2021. You couldn't tell her shit. Like I said, she don't want to listen now. You couldn't tell her nothing.
Tell me
so
nothing.
See, these are the choices that lead to shit that down the road.
But I'm gonna tell you something. But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. We got to go back to me at 21. I was singing with bands. I was traveling. I was doing my promotion stuff. I was working hard. My kids were little. One was with daddy. One was with me by that time. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I was just, life was lifing. It was what it was. Let's just say from 22 go forward, because at 21, I was.
I don't give a damn about the age. You get me though. I feel you, but you know your life is lifing. Now, here's what I'll say. Okay, about me, my old man. Look, I saw my old man probably once a year or so, for years, like 7, 8, 9, 12. I probably saw my old man once every year or two. My father was the youngest, the only boy, spoiled as shit. Did not want to be a father. The idea, but this is back when men got married all the time. Black men marrying everybody. Now, I'm actually cool with my other mom. Like his first wife and my mom was tight. Because they both were like, look, in this clown. So I respect that. They didn't tread on each other's toes. They treated each of us like children. I have 2 older sisters, blah, blah, blah. But what's weird is when my pop came back around, he didn't have to be a father anymore. So this is why I'm telling you to leave that door open. My father came back in my life when I was 31. He retired. the two promises my father ever kept to me. One, I asked him to fly me out to California when I was 17 to hang with him in the summer. He actually did that. And two, I asked him to send me a pistol before I went to college. He did that.
Oh gosh, oh gosh.
Oh,
We
man,
blame him, okay? We blame him.
listen. And but so the thing about it was, again, he wasn't a good father. He wasn't. He knew he wasn't. He wasn't a good father. He was a great grandfather though. So when he retired, I was 31. He left California, retired, moved back to KC, and he said he wanted to be a full-time grandfather. And I remember going in the garage, having a conversation with myself and going, listen, I got two choices. I can choose to not forgive this dude, hold a grudge, move on, do whatever. Or I can say, you know what? From here, we start over. We start brand new. I let him be to my children what he couldn't be to me. Better grandfather than he could have ever been to, you know what I'm saying? And my
Yeah.
children have other grandfathers. So I had to make that choice. But the one thing that my pop told me, he obviously gave my mom and grandma and all them credit for what they did with us that he didn't. And
Mhm.
he said something that really just shook me. He said, you know, I've told my friends on more than one occasion that my son is my hero because of who he became.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Now imagine me at 31 going, oh man, this is fucked up, man. But you know what I mean?
Oh,
He
but no,
did.
but that's sweet because the thing about it, this is the thing.
He knew.
Women, or I'm going to just say people in general, we put so much faith into people thinking that folks
Sure.
know how to do the right thing.
Right.
And the thing about it is that we're all fucked up in different ways. And I'm going to just put it out there. Is there's different levels to this thing.
Yes.
Back then they were we've just had these conversations with my mom, with my brother. We talk about this all the time. They were really, really, really fucked up in the 70s. Like we're lucky to be still alive and in this square.
Right.
Generation X.
I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying, like really and truly, like we had to figure shit out. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that for the most part, we figured it out to the best that we can.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all we can do is the best that we can in this life with what we got or what we've been served, what we've
Right.
been dealt, and we just gotta know how to deal with it. Can we be assholes and stick them for the shit that they've done to us? Yeah, but why? What
But
do
why?
we get out of it?
Either don't be there or be there. I agree. So I guess I'm saying all that to say to you,
Right.
just let him figure out as long as there's no more, and he's a man, but as long as there's no more physical damage, and hopefully he's
Yeah.
smart enough to not let there be mental and emotional, but let them develop how they do. Because listen, it took a lot for my uncles and grandmother and all that to let this dude back in because of what he did and didn't do to their sister and daughter, my mother.
Mhm.
So, you know, he had to do a whole lot of stepping and fetching, and he did that. He fit the bill, he
Mhm.
lived up to it, but he also understood that, you know what, uh, I ran my race, I know what I've done. And it's a little easier when it's grandchildren, but he was there at every moment. I'm not saying that's going to be your case, but what I'm saying is
Right.
that door should be left open, whether you want to ever have a relationship or not. And
No.
this is how wacky my dude was. And this is gonna sound really crazy. He met my wife's uncle. I mean, he met my wife's aunt, and they started dating. And I love her aunt. Her aunt is adorable. And I'm like, are you shitting me? But he was crazy about her. But here's the thing, Auntie was so dope. My father had a picture of my mother that all of the kids had in his house, in his mother's house, and in his house. And she understood and respected that because me being her nephew-in-law, she understood, had love, and he was like, you know, this is my kid's mom. This is who saved me from this and the third. She's a
Mhm.
big, 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 big woman for that. Beautiful woman for that.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
ain't gonna do that because how? But again,
Right.
how you can be upset and angry and jealous about someone who's no longer here, but you get my point.
Yeah.
When he's giving credit now, sometimes we have to get to the end of our life. But
Yes.
the last 9 years of his life, he dedicated to my kids, which beat the first 31 of mine.
Right.
So I'm just saying that to say I don't know. He was 60. So baby, whatever happens can happen. I mean, let your children be the judges. I know that's tough for you, but you don't have to see, live, or talk to him if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's the place where we're at. You know, the kids are the ones that are in contact. I don't see him,
Sure.
talk to him.
Mhm.
No.
And they're gonna have their disappointment times with him anyway, because he is who he is. And like, just like, we had our disappointment that times with our dad too, but once he got over his own little hump, because he had to get over his hump to come back around to us. And when he did, for me, what I'm saying, it was the sweetest thing ever, because we were really able to have conversations and hash out a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that I didn't know, that I didn't understand, that I was privy to from his standpoint. And I was able to weigh, okay, well, this is what happened here, this is what happened there, okay, this is where they at, this is why, and I have answers. So it's like, I'm good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But, yeah.
I mean, and CB, what like your relationship with your dad? I know you said he wasn't there and all that. How was you guys' relationship, especially once you got to be an adult?
It was great. I mean, I always got whatever I wanted. I was a spoiled brat. My dad spoiled me. We would go eat Red Lobster every time he'd pick me up, or eat Mad Jacks, or that's how I have a love of seafood, because of my dad. And also, my dad was a ladies' man, and you gotta respect that.
We've discussed your George and I have discussed your
Yeah, this is what we need to have that song in. And as soon as you hear that, literally.
Right. I went to church with him. This was before I had the twins. I went to church with Dad, and these women were looking at me like I had committed a crime. Until Dad stood up and said that he was happy his daughter was with him that Sunday. And next thing you know, we're getting invited to dinner, and all these women are trying to get close to me. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy.
You see how retarded that is, though? That's just, but you see, you wonder why I be saying the shit I say. Y'all make me look at that goofy shit, especially at church. Ugh, don't get me started on.
I know.
Don't get me started on church folk. Don't do it.
And then whenever he would want to impress a lady, he would call me over and have me and the twins come over so he can be the greatest grandpa in the world and try to impress the ladies. It was so funny. It was so funny. He even had a chick that cleaned his house that you could tell that she liked him, but he wasn't giving her the time of day. But she would have drank his dirty bathwater if he told her to. I mean, she was that into him.
Okay. I mean, hey, listen, be like that sometime.
My dad was the shit, like, for real.
So I guess that's the point. Like I said, your relationship, but the kids.
What?
Your mic is acting up.
Your mic is going out.
No, I'm setting us up. I'm setting us up for something later. But I'm just saying, your relationship with your dad, let them have theirs. However that may be, they'll either be like, "Nope, I'm done," or they'll be like, "You know what, the old man is okay," and just
I mean, they're grown; they can handle themselves. Like I said, I never said anything negative about their dad. And now when they come to me and complain, like, "Dang, Mama, I understand why you left." I was like, "Yeah." So they get it now. But, for the longest time, he was on this pedestal, and they just thought he could do no wrong. And then now they see for themselves, the older they got, they saw for themselves, your dad's an asshole.
Right.
And, and they got it. Because it's like my relationship with my dad, like, he would pick me up. I remember we picked up this one lady. Her name was Rose. She was on the bus stop. And we were driving, and Dad saw her, and then he turned, because he had a Fleetwood Cadillac, burnt orange, and he turned that Cadillac around, and he just parked it so smooth at the bus stop. I was rapping to this chick, and
they're showing off. Yes,
and she gets in the car. And I'm sitting in the back like, wow, he really just did that. And then she invites us to her house, and she cooks dinner. I'm just like, we just met this bride.
your pops was getting it in where he could get it in. But that's wild. I mean, hey, look,
Yes, and
you know what?
26
So
siblings later. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Pops was a journeyman Dixman. He wasn't shy about passing out dangus, and
No.
it is what it is.
I am my father's daughter. That's probably why I can't be in a relationship with anybody. Well, none of my relationships work because
Oh,
I
so
don't
you
know.
admit it's you? Okay, you're the problem. All right, cool. I
I have
appreciate
a
that.
wandering eye. I self-sabotage relationships on purpose because
That's
what scares me is I don't know, forever. I can't even fathom looking at the same guy forever. That
Why?
would be
Why? You realize forever ain't gonna be that long. We all on the backside of goddamn 40. So why can't you imagine riding out the last 20, 30 or so with the same person? Like where you running to?
because I'm good on my own. I don't even need that crap no more. I'm too focused on other things. I really don't even think about sex. Now, I like to
Who can I run to?
If I didn't already have
When
something
I
going.
need love.
Okay, so look, real quick before we get out of here,
Yes.
I told you I gotta honor one of the greats. So real quick, we're gonna take a quick hiatus. I'm gonna give y'all this music. Yeah, baby.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all
Hey,
over
baby.
you.
You got girlfriend Vietnam?
Hey,
Not just this minute.
Yeah.
Well, baby, me so horny. Me so horny.
what y'all know about that?
Me love you long time. You party? Yeah, we might party. How much? $15? $15 for both of us. No, each you $15. Me love you long time. Me so horny. $15 too buku. $5 each. Me so
Mimi, you was in Miami when this was going on.
Me love you very much.
I sure was.
I know you were.
$5
Oh man.
is all my mom allowed me to spend. Okay, $10 each. What do we get for $10?
Hey, what do you get?
Everything you want.
Ooh.
Everything? Everything.
Don't do that, baby.
Hey,
Oh, suck it to me. Oh, so horny. So horny. So
go ahead, Big Lou.
Me love you long
Yeah.
time. So horny. So
I remember when this song came out.
horny. Me love you long time.
Yeah, house parties. Oh yeah,
So horny.
And
or the
two
teenage
of them songs.
clubs.
Me love you long
So
time.
I think Fresh Kid Ice, the Asian dude, and what's his name, and then Luke.
So horny. Me love you long time.
Sitting at home with my dick
Marquis,
hard.
Marquis.
I got the black book for a freak to call. Picked up the
Oh, man.
telephone, then dialed the 7.
Remember that phone books?
Yo, this Marquis, baby. Are you down with it? I arrived at a house.
Y'all don't know about
Knocked
that.
on
Y'all don't know
the
about that.
door.
Look at the Bookie
Not
Rope. Look at
having
the
no
Bookie Rope.
idea of what the night had in store. I'm like a dog in the heat. A freak without warning, not having appetite for sex. 'Cause me so
This
horny.
So horny. So horny. So horny. Me love
Hey, that was pre BBL. That was pre jobs.
With the
That was
heels
all
on
that.
and the little tights.
I just want to shout him out. All right, look, we've been tripping a little bit. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Good to see everybody. I'm glad y'all here with me, but we about to be done. So George, like I said, George out handling business. Keep doing your thing, brother. We got big things in store. We talked earlier. Take care of yourself. I'm out.
Yeah, so one love. God bless. See you guys next week. Once again, happy birthday to Russell Thacker, to my baby girl Shakima Simon. Happy heavenly birthday to my brother coming up. And thank you guys for coming through. Jay, Trey, I said it. One love.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us. We come to you every Wednesday as your midweek motivator, offering you music, motivation, conversation, laughter, and a whole lot of fun. Hopefully you got that and then some. Don't forget to like us and subscribe. And we will see you same place, same time next week. And don't forget to go to our website, cbntheboys.org. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.
Boom. Everybody be cool, be cool. Dun, dun, dun. BOYZ, yeah.